Under the cloak of night, the autumn wind howls, as Ellen's house stands alone, silhouetted against the abyss. The wind relentlessly drives leaves into swirling patterns around the porch. As the night deepens, the house glows, a beacon of light, promising warmth and safety amidst the desolation. The wind whispers secrets through the trees, a chorus of unseen voices echoing in the darkness. The vast night sky looms, indifferent to the solitary house and the swirling chaos below. In the quiet of her home, Ellen stands, a smudge of grease, a badge of her struggle. Her movements, though weary, reveal a core of unwavering resolve. The silent furnace looms, a testament to her determined efforts. In her eyes, a spark of determination ignites against the dim backdrop. Under the cloak of night, a mysterious package rests silently on Ellen's doorstep. The package is wrapped in cheap brown paper, its rough texture hinting at secrets concealed within. Ellen's name is scrawled across the package, a stark declaration of its intended recipient. The night holds its breath, awaiting the moment when Ellen discovers the surprise left at her door. In the dim kitchen light, Ellen approaches a mysterious box, its contents unknown. With bated breath, Ellen opens the box, revealing an unsettling sight. Inside, a Labubu doll grins maniacally, its glassy black eyes piercing the darkness. The doll's unsettling presence fills the kitchen, casting a dark shadow over Ellen. The Labubu doll's manic grin seems to widen, hinting at the secrets it holds within. In the quiet kitchen, a chilling message is revealed on the doll's tag. Labubu, he's always watching. Ellen's uneasy laughter fills the room, masking a growing sense of dread. She glances around the dimly lit kitchen, the doll's eyes seeming to follow her every move. A shadow flickers in the corner of her eye, amplifying her unease. She clutches the doll tightly, seeking reassurance in its inanimate presence. Her laughter fades, replaced by a haunting silence as she stares into the doll's unblinking eyes. In the stillness of night, Ellen slumbers peacefully, unaware of the subtle shift in her home's atmosphere. A faint, insidious hiss creeps from the kitchen, a sound barely audible over Ellen's rhythmic breathing. The sound intensifies, a subtle but growing threat to Ellen's serene slumber. Unseen danger permeates the air, a silent prelude to a rude awakening. The soft hiss persists, a harbinger of disruption to Ellen's tranquil night. In the dimly lit kitchen, Ellen is drawn to the eerie stillness of the doll. The doll sits silently under the soft light, its head tilted at a disturbing angle. The doll's grin seems to widen, a mocking challenge in the quiet kitchen. Ellen remains still, captivated by the doll's unsettling presence in the dim light. In the dim light of her bedroom, Ellen approaches the old wooden cupboard, her movements measured and deliberate. She opens the cupboard door, the hinges creaking softly in the still night. With gentle hands, Ellen carefully places the doll inside, as if laying it to rest. A subtle shadow of unease crosses Ellen's face as she closes the cupboard, a silent acknowledgement of lingering disquiet. Turning away from the cupboard, Ellen begins to walk back toward her bed, her footsteps soft on the wooden floor. As she approaches her bed, the dim light casts long shadows across the room, amplifying the sense of isolation and foreboding. In the spectral quiet of the living room, a pale boy sits motionless, his button eyes glinting with an eerie stillness. He clutches the Labubu doll tightly, its vacant stare mirroring his own. The room fades into shadow, the only light catching the unnatural gleam in his eyes. A sense of profound isolation envelops the boy and his doll. The air grows heavy, thick with the unspoken secrets of childhood nightmares. The silence stretches, broken only by the faint whisper of the boy's shallow breath. The living room glows softly, shadows playing along the walls in a dreamy dance. A boy, no older than 10, appears amidst the ethereal glow, his eyes twinkling with playful secrets. His voice echoes softly in the dreamlike space, a playful warning carried on the gentle light. When you look away, we move. The shadows lengthen as the boy smiles, a hint of magic in his eyes. Sunlight floods the living room, awakening Ellen on the couch, disoriented and lost in the morning haze. Through the gentle light, a peculiar sight. A doll sits silently at the couch's edge, its plush hands glistening as if wet. Ellen's gaze fixates on the doll, its damp hands reflecting the morning light. The doll's hands appear wet, glistening faintly in the light, casting an unsettling aura over the room. The scratching intensifies from within the walls of Ellen's home. Ellen pauses, a flicker of unease crossing her face as she listens intently. She looks around the room, her eyes scanning the walls, trying to pinpoint the source of the sound. The scratching grows louder, more persistent, amplifying Ellen's growing alarm. Ellen stands frozen, her expression a mix of fear and confusion as the scratching continues. Ellen steps into the bathroom, the silence amplifying her every move. A doll sits on the counter, its gaze unnervingly fixed in the mirror. Ellen stops, a chill running down her spine as she notices the doll. The doll's unwavering stare seems to pierce through the reflection. Ellen steps into her bedroom, a space barely touched by moonlight. She approaches the bed, ready for sleep, a haven of rest. A silent horror unfolds as she pulls back the covers. A doll sits upright on the pillow, its vacant eyes piercing the dimness, locking onto Ellen. Ellen recoils in terror, stumbling backward, her world shattered. In a place of rest, a silent intruder watches, its painted eyes unsettlingly fixed. Amidst the freshness of the refrigerator, an unnatural smile lurks. In the shower's damp confines, the doll sits, its features marred by the water, now sinister. Buckled in, the doll's tilted head gives the unsettling impression of a silent passenger. Ellen's home becomes a stage for the doll's increasingly disturbing appearances. In the quiet of the kitchen, Ellen delicately places an old baby monitor on the counter. She meticulously adjusts the angle, focusing on the cupboard where the doll is secured. The monitor's red light flickers to life, a silent sentinel in the darkened kitchen. The red light confirms the monitor is active. In the quiet of the night, Ellen sleeps peacefully, bathed in soft moonlight. A sudden burst of static shatters the stillness, ripping Ellen from her dreams. Her eyes snap open, the tranquility of sleep instantly replaced by sharp alertness. Adrenaline courses through her veins as she bolts upright, every sense on high alert. The faint glow of the moon casts long shadows, heightening the sense of unease. In the dead of night, the kitchen cupboard door creaks open, casting long, eerie shadows. A silent dread fills the air as the opening widens, hinting at unseen horrors lurking within. From the inky blackness, a porcelain doll emerges, its painted eyes gleaming with sinister intent. The baby monitor captures the doll's slow, unnerving crawl, each movement a step further into nightmare. In the dead of night, a porcelain doll sits motionless, its presence radiating an unsettling stillness. A subtle tremor begins as the doll's head rotates slowly, its gaze locking onto the lens with chilling precision. The painted smile on the doll's face seems to deepen, twisting into a grotesque parody of joy. The smile stretches further, revealing a dark distortion that hints at something sinister lurking beneath the surface. The once innocent doll now wears a mask of malevolent glee, its silent laughter echoing through the empty room. Flickering static dances across the baby monitor, painting the kitchen in eerie, elongated shadows. A chilling, high-pitched whisper pierces the silence, its source unknown, whispering unintelligible. A voice cuts through the static. The video feed abruptly dies, plunging the screen into a sea of snow. Ellen awakens abruptly, her eyes wide with stark terror. A chilling sweat glistens on her brow as she struggles to draw breath. Her heart pounds in her chest, each beat echoing the unseen horror. The room around her seems to pulse with unspoken dread. Each shadow dances with the memory of her nightmare. She remains frozen, caught in the grip of lingering fear. Sunlight bathes Ellen's living room as a sense of unease settles over the otherwise cozy scene. Ellen turns to Mr. Willis, her face etched with worry. Mr. Willis sits, his kind face a mask of gentle attentiveness. Ellen leans forward, her gestures becoming more animated as she struggles to convey the unsettling nature of the doll. "I have to tell someone about this doll. It's just creepy." Mr. Willis stands frozen before Ellen's house, his face draining of color as he stares at something unseen. A shadow of dread crosses his face, hinting at a dark memory resurfacing. His voice trembles as he whispers, "That's not a toy." He reveals a chilling connection. "My sister had one." His voice cracks as he finishes the haunting statement. "She didn't last long." Mr. Willis remains motionless, consumed by the weight of his words and the ominous presence of the unseen object. In the dim light of Ellen's house, shadows dance across the room. A note slides under the door, its arrival heralded by a chilling scrape. The ominous message is revealed. "Burn it before it learns your name." The chilling words echo in the silent house, hinting at unseen dangers. In the dead of night, Ellen approaches the fireplace, her face grim. With a surge of defiance, Ellen hurls the doll into the roaring flames. Instead of burning, the doll unleashes a piercing shriek, defying the fire's embrace. The room fills with an unearthly sound as the doll's scream echoes through the house. The fireplace dominates the room, the fire roaring intensely. The fire burns black, hungrily consuming heat. Ellen stumbles back, overwhelmed by the sudden heat. She moves away from the intense heat radiating from the hearth. The fireplace roars, casting flickering shadows as the flames dance with ravenous hunger. Emerging from the heart of the fire, a doll materializes, its fur smoldering ominously. Its black, beady eyes gleam with an unsettling light, mirroring Ellen's mounting terror. Ellen stands frozen, a statue of fear, her eyes wide with disbelief and horror. The doll advances, smoke trailing, as Ellen remains paralyzed, caught in a silent scream. The fireplace roars, its flames casting dancing shadows across the silent room. A chilling voice echoes in the night. "You gave me a home. You can't undo that." Ellen stands motionless, her face etched with a mix of fear and grim determination. The shadows deepen as the fire crackles menacingly. Ellen moves silently through her darkened house, a mere shadow against the faint light. With meticulous care, she checks each door, ensuring every lock clicks into place. She verifies each window, securing them against the unseen threats lurking outside. A glint of metal flashes in the dim light as Ellen clutches a kitchen knife. The knife, a stark symbol of protection, reflects the faint light. Ellen's grip tightens on the knife, her eyes darting around the room. The scratching within the walls grows more frenzied, a prelude to terror. The scratching escalates into violent pounding, shaking the very foundations of Ellen's house. Lights flicker wildly, casting eerie, dancing shadows that hint at an unseen presence. Darkness descends, plunging Ellen's house into an abyss of unknown horrors. The silence is broken only by the continued pounding, a relentless assault on the senses. In the dead of night, Ellen lies still in her bed, enveloped by darkness. A silence blankets the house, broken only by the faint sound of countless tiny footsteps. The tiny footsteps grow louder, a subtle menace filling the room. The soft footsteps intensify, a symphony of dread. Ellen remains frozen, fear gripping her as the unseen presence draws nearer. In the dead of night, Ellen's eyes flutter open, her senses slowly returning. As the darkness recedes, a chilling sight emerges, a sea of Labubu dolls. Vacant stares fixate on her, each doll an eerie sentinel in the shadows. A gasp escapes Ellen's lips as the reality of the haunting scene sinks in. The dolls stand silently, their presence a suffocating blanket of dread. Dim light paints the room in shadows, dust swirling in the air. A porcelain doll with gleaming eyes stands motionless. The porcelain doll takes a deliberate step forward. The doll's voice echoes eerily.
"We're family now."
In the dim light of her house, Ellen stands still, unaware of the encroaching horror. A silent, creeping advance begins as the dolls stir to life in the shadows. The dolls swarm, an unstoppable tide climbing Ellen's legs. Plush teeth sink into flesh, the soft exterior betraying a sharp, cruel reality. Ellen cries out as the dolls continue to climb higher, their assault relentless. The dolls' plush forms become instruments of terror as they continue to tear at Ellen's skin. Inside Ellen's home, a scream abruptly cuts through the night, but it is quickly overwhelmed. The house echoes with high-pitched, childlike laughter, its source unseen and unsettling. The laughter continues, growing louder, filling every corner of the house. The laughter spirals into an endless, echoing chorus, drowning out all other sound. Days later, an unsettling quiet descends upon Ellen's house. Police vehicles arrive, their presence shattering the eerie silence. The officers approach Ellen's house, their movements slow and deliberate. An unsettling stillness hangs in the air as they prepare to enter. The kitchen stands still, sunlight filtering through the window, revealing dancing dust motes in the air. Clean countertops and an empty sink offer no clues in the eerie silence. The linoleum floor shows no trace of struggle, no hint of violence. The refrigerator emits a gentle hum, the only sound disrupting the unsettling quiet. An unnerving calm blankets Ellen's kitchen, concealing hidden secrets. The ordinary kitchen becomes a stage for unspoken tension and mystery. In Ellen's kitchen, stark and silent, a brown paper package waits on the table. The box sits alone, an enigma wrapped in brown paper. Sunlight streams into the kitchen, highlighting the box's solitary presence. The simplicity of the scene amplifies the mystery surrounding the package. A silent question hangs in the air. What secrets does the box conceal? The ordinary setting contrasts with the potential significance of the unopened box. Inside the kitchen, a box sits innocently on the counter. The box opens, revealing a Labubu doll with an impossibly wide grin. The Labubu doll's grin seems to widen, filling the room with an unsettling cheer. The doll's eyes glint, reflecting an eerie, silent joy. Sunlight floods a cozy kitchen as the kettle whistles, filling the air with warmth. Ellen stands at the counter, her movements calm as she unpacks groceries. Her eyes catch a brightly colored gift tag attached to a vibrant houseplant. A chilling message scrawled on the tag. She's always watching. Ellen freezes, a sudden chill cutting through the kitchen's warmth. Years ago, sunbeams pierced through the curtains, illuminating a room filled with dancing dust motes. A young boy, lost in her own world, sits on the floor. His small hands gently cradle a Labubu doll. Her eyes are completely absorbed by the doll, a world of imagination unfolding before her. The Labubu doll becomes the center of his universe. In Mr. Willis's sister's childhood room, toys and books fill every corner, memories echoing in the stillness. The boy, once radiant, sits quietly, her youthful glow gradually dimming. His face now reflects a growing detachment, his youthful energy slowly fading away, a subtle fading of her youthful radiance. In the dim room, Mr. Willis is frozen, his face a mask of growing horror. His sister lies deathly still, an unsettling quiet filling the room. A Labubu doll rests innocently beside her, a silent witness to the tragedy. The scene is frozen in time, an image of loss and inexplicable dread. In the ethereal expanse of her dream, Ellen finds herself adrift in a dimly lit room, a haunting familiarity tugging at her senses. Looking down, she sees her hands are small and pale, her skin almost translucent. She is the pale girl, but with button eyes, staring blankly ahead. In her grasp, she holds a Labubu doll, its vibrant colors a stark contrast to the muted tones of everything else. The Labubu doll stands out, a beacon of color in the otherwise muted dreamscape. The dreamscape is quiet, her button eyes staring ahead, and she clutches the doll tightly. In the ethereal glow of dream, reality blurs, revealing a young boy who is also Ellen. Unseen energy crackles in the air, hinting at the dream's unstable nature. "Boy," Ellen speaks, a mysterious invitation hanging in the air. "When you look away, we move." The room shifts subtly, the dream responding to unspoken rules. A sense of anticipation builds, the dream world poised for transformation. The dream deepens, pulling Ellen further into its enigmatic embrace. An unsettling scratching sound begins, subtly disturbing the quiet of Ellen's home. The scratching intensifies, growing louder. The scratching twists, taking on a sinister quality. The scratching transforms into faint, chilling whispers. The whispers grow, becoming more distinct and unsettling. The whispers escalate into eerie, childlike giggles, filling the house with dread. The bedroom is enveloped in an oppressive darkness, broken only by the doll's unnerving, spectral gaze. At the foot of Ellen's bed, the doll sits motionless, a silent guardian of nightmares. The doll's eyes pierce the darkness, casting an eerie glow that seems to deepen the shadows around it. An unsettling sentinel watches over Ellen's slumber, its presence a silent promise of unseen horrors. The living room fades into view, a dimly lit space where shadows dance with the static hiss of a forgotten television. Ellen enters, her footsteps barely audible, as she steps into a scene of eerie stillness. She stops abruptly, her gaze drawn to a figure silhouetted against the flickering light. A doll sits silently before the television, its eyes reflecting the screen's spectral glow. The doll's stare seems to pierce through the gloom, an unsettling presence in the quiet room. In the heart of the darkened room, the doll remains, a silent sentinel amidst the electronic noise. Ellen stands in her kitchen, peering into the inky blackness beyond the window. The window reflects the familiar kitchen, a comforting image in the night. A fleeting vision, a doll perched ominously on the counter, reflected in the glass. She blinks, the unsettling image vanishing as quickly as it appeared. The counter is bare, the night pressing in, the doll nowhere to be seen. Only the empty counter and the dark night remain, leaving Ellen in silent contemplation. In the quiet solitude of her bathroom, Ellen prepares for her nightly ritual. A fleeting glance upwards shatters the peace. The mirror distorts, her own image replaced by a chilling visage. The doll appears, its vacant stare piercing the fragile barrier of reality. Ellen is frozen in terror, her reflection now a harbinger of dread. In the dimly lit room, shadows stretch and twist as Ellen sits, radiating a blend of fear and resolve. Across from her, a doll sits silently, an eerie stillness filling the space between them. Ellen leans forward, her voice a soft yet firm challenge cutting through the heavy silence. Her question hangs in the air, a desperate plea masked as a demand.
What do you want?
The doll remains motionless, its silence amplifying the tension as the shadows continue to dance. In Ellen's house, the silence is heavy, the only sound the distant hum of traffic. The doll's painted grin seems to mock the stillness of the room. The silence stretches, amplifying the unsettling stare of the doll. The hum of traffic fades, leaving only the doll and its silent vigil. An unsettling calm settles, broken only by the doll's ever-present grin. The night deepens, the doll a silent sentinel in the quiet house. In the dimly lit room, shadows swirl ominously, mirroring Ellen's inner turmoil. Ellen clutches her head, battling the onslaught of confusion and disorientation. She paces restlessly, a prisoner of her own spiraling thoughts. The room blurs. Reality begins to unravel as the line between sanity and madness fades. Ellen's grip loosens as she falls into the abyss of uncertainty. Trapped in her room, Ellen desperately shoves a heavy dresser against the door, barricading herself against the unknown. The scratching intensifies, each scrape amplifying her mounting dread. She presses her ear against the cold wood, straining to discern the source of the encroaching horror. Her eyes widen, reflecting the terror as the scratching grows ever closer. The room is shrouded in shadows, the darkness alive with secrets. A doll sits silently on Ellen's bed, its porcelain face gleaming with an eerie light. Its eyes pierce the shadows, staring directly at the viewer, their gaze inescapable. Its presence fills the room, an undeniable force that chills the air. A sudden cold descends, a palpable shift in the room's atmosphere. The doll's silent stare intensifies, promising something sinister. An unsettling silence fills Ellen's house, a stillness so profound it seems to press against the walls. Motionless, a doll sits on a shelf, its eyes staring blankly into the abyss. A faint whisper cuts through the quiet, eerily like Ellen's lost voice. The whisper grows, revealing the impossible. The doll speaks. "Ellen." The doll's voice echoes. The doll's stare intensifies, piercing the silence with a haunting resonance. Inside her house, Ellen is overwhelmed, her senses assaulted by unseen forces. She desperately tries to shut out the cacophony, her knuckles bone white against her head. Ellen's face contorts in distress as she struggles to find a moment of peace. She strains to block out the sound, her body tense with desperate effort. The unseen noise intensifies, driving Ellen to the edge of her endurance. Ellen's struggle continues, a solitary battle against the encroaching chaos. The night's silence is pierced by the doll's whispers, their chilling insistence growing with each passing moment. The whispers intensify, weaving through the shadows, wrapping around every corner of the room. The doll's voice, once a faint murmur, now echoes with a chilling clarity. The room seems to breathe with the doll's haunting presence, every shadow a testament to its growing power. The whispers converge, filling the house, turning Ellen's sanctuary into a stage for the doll's sinister performance. In the dim light of her room, Ellen sits up in bed, her eyes wide with terror. Shadows dance across the room, twisting familiar shapes into menacing figures. A semicircle of dolls surrounds her, their painted grins mocking her fear. The dolls' eyes seem to follow her every move, their silence amplifying her dread. The air grows heavy, thick with an unspoken threat that tightens its grip around her. Ellen remains frozen, paralyzed by the silent, watchful presence of the dolls. In the dead of night, Ellen's scream pierces the silence of her house. The sound reverberates off the walls, unanswered. The echo fades, leaving only the heavy quiet of the empty rooms. No one hears her. In the dead of night, an eerie stillness blankets Ellen's room, only to be pierced by unseen forces. Porcelain dolls surrounding Ellen's bed stir to life, their faces contorted in grim determination. The dolls reach out with tiny hands, their grip surprisingly strong as they seize Ellen. Ellen is pulled from her bed, caught in the grasp of the relentless dolls. The dolls drag Ellen away, their porcelain eyes gleaming with unnatural intent. In the dead of night, Ellen is caught in a desperate struggle against unseen forces. She fights back with fierce determination, despite being outnumbered. Each movement is a testament to her will to survive. Her resilience shines through as she refuses to yield to the overwhelming odds. In the dead of night, Ellen's scream pierces the silence as unseen hands seize her. Porcelain hands emerge from the shadows, their grip tightening around Ellen's ankles. The malevolent dolls, eyes gleaming, drag Ellen into the abyss beneath the bed. Helpless, Ellen is pulled into the darkness. The dim light reveals only the vacant eyes of the dolls, watching as Ellen disappears completely. The echoes of Ellen's screams slowly die into the night. Silence descends, heavy and absolute. The house stands still, holding its breath. The air thickens with unspoken dread. Nothing moves. The house looms, silent and still under the daylight. A sense of foreboding settles as the sun casts long shadows. The windows stare blankly, like eyes that have seen too much. The air hangs heavy with unanswered questions. The house stands resolute, guarding its secrets. Silence blankets the scene, amplifying the sense of isolation. The kitchen is bathed in a sunlit glow, each dust mote dancing like a phantom in the golden air. A single Labubu doll perches on the kitchen table, its plastic grin unnervingly wide. The silence of the room amplifies the doll's unsettling presence. The doll's plastic eyes seem to follow every movement, a silent observer in the sun-drenched kitchen. The air grows heavy with unspoken dread, the doll's grin now a harbinger of something unknown. In Ellen's kitchen, an unsettling stillness fills the air, the mundane setting amplifying the sense of foreboding. A doll lies on the kitchen table, its presence strangely unsettling amidst the domestic scene. The camera focuses on the doll's eyes, which seem to reflect the viewer's own face. The reflection in the doll's eyes distorts, warping familiar features into something eerie and unrecognizable. A sense of unease washes over the viewer as they confront their own distorted image in the doll's gaze. Sunlight pours into the kitchen, illuminating the haphazardly stacked dishes. Amidst the domestic scene, a porcelain doll watches from the counter. A chilling whisper echoes, "You're next." The doll remains motionless, its painted eyes gleaming with an unnatural light. The unnerving silence amplifies the chilling threat. A delivery truck comes to a stop in front of Ellen's house, marking the start of an anticipated arrival. The delivery person steps out of the truck, package in hand, ready to complete the delivery. With deliberate steps, the delivery person approaches the front porch, ensuring the package reaches its destination. The package is gently placed on the front porch, signaling the successful end of its journey. In the bright light of day, a figure approaches Ellen's house, unaware of the secrets it holds. The figure walks toward the front door, drawn into the unfolding drama. Unsuspecting, the new person reaches for the package, unaware of the danger it contains. Their fingers close around the box, a silent trigger in a deadly game. The package is lifted, its weight heavy with hidden peril. The new person turns away, the package now in their possession, their fate sealed. An unsettling stillness descends upon Ellen's house. A lingering sense of dread permeates every corner. The air hangs heavy, thick with unspoken tension. The silence amplifies the feeling that something is deeply amiss. The camera looks up at the sky above Ellen's house, vast and blue. The brightness of the day begins to dim. The light fades away. The sky turns dark. Darkness completely envelops the scene. A chilling message appears. She's always watching. The ominous message hangs in Ellen's otherwise normal kitchen, hinting at unseen eyes. The tag serves as a silent harbinger of dread within the otherwise comforting domestic space. The unsettling tag looms large. An innocuous tag lies innocently in Ellen's kitchen. Suddenly, the letters on the tag begin to writhe, twisting into new, horrifying shapes. A chilling message emerges from the chaos. "You're always watching." The kitchen transforms into a space of cold dread, the accusation hanging heavy in the air. The familiar image of Ellen's house fills the screen, bathed in the warmth of daylight. The image of the house slowly begins to fade, the edges blurring as if dissolving into mist. The house disappears completely, leaving a stark, empty space behind. Words materialize in the void. The end?